I'm currently getting thousands of email subscribers every single day. In this video, I'll show you 3 strategies to get your brand from having no email subscribers at all to having 100,000 people subscribe to your email list so you can make millions of dollars from email marketing just like I'm doing it for my clients. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you what these 3 strategies can do for you, right? So I have an example right here with one of the brands we're doing email marketing for. In 1 month, they've gained about 40,000 email subscribers. In the next one, about 45,000. And then we're halfway through August right now. We're the 15th, and they've already added like 17,000 profiles to their list, right? Pretty fast list growth. But if you're a smaller brand, this is what type of results you can expect. Going from 0 email list subscribers in the beginning of 2023 to 100,000 email list subscribers on their list within like a year, right? And the list kept on growing after, but basically this is kind of the list growth you can expect with these strategies. Okay, so the first strategy is going to be pop-ups. So these are email forms that are going to show up on your website when people try to leave it. So getting to that area of the screen, trying to just hit on the cross right here, pop-up is going to show up saying, wait a minute, unlock your code before you leave, and you're going to collect their email over there. So these are pop-ups. I'm going to show you how to create one similar to this and implement it onto your Shopify store, right? So we're in Figma right now to create the pop-up design, and then we're going to import that design in Klaviyo where we are actually going to set up the pop-up, right? So we're in Figma.com right now. You just create a free account and then click on New Design File, and you're going to be prompted to a page that looks very similar to this, except it's going to be like completely blank like this, right? This is the pop-up that we're going to create. I'm just going to show you how I do it live. So click on this tool right here, or click on F on your keyboard to get the frame tool, and then you are going to be able to drag and drop a frame onto your Canva, right? And now I'm just going to pick my brand color. So I'm just going to go here and then pick the eyedropper tool and then just pick a color that I already have right here. Or what you can do is just input the hex code of the color you want. So I'm just going to go with 000 and get a completely black pop-up, right? So this is another case. I'm just going to pick the color that I have for my brand and just input it right here. And then for the logo, what I'm going to do is find mine on my computer. You should have one saved up on your computer too. And then I'm just going to drag and drop it onto the canvas. So I'm just picking it right here and then dragging and dropping it. All right, work the 3rd time around. Now, what I'm gonna do is drag it into the Canva and just make sure it's centered because, otherwise it would look a bit weird. And then I'm just gonna click on the text tool to create the headline, the body copy, and then this part right here, email and unlock 10% off, we're just going to create that inside of Klaviyo because it will be a dynamic fields, right? It needs to be buttons and stuff like that. So definitely need to create these in Klaviyo. Now here, I just want the headline to say get 10% off. This is an offer that works quite well. You can also increase the discount size if it's your brand, if it makes sense economically, or you can go for like a dollar amount off. This works really well, or a gift with purchase. This one tends to really crush if you're able to run that. Like it is incredible for list growth. So get 10% off. And I'm just giving you some general guidelines here, but you can go for basically anything that your traffic would be willing to exchange their email for. So for example, I've seen a brand that just does hair loss, and what they do is they exchange people's email on the pop-up, and in exchange for their email they get a PDF on how they can like basically regrow their hair. So you can go and create some pretty unique offers, but the one that or typically work across all industries or like percentages off, dollar amount, or like gift with purchase does really great. So I'm just going to center that headline and just modify the color here. I'm just going to click on fill and pick a color that I have on my Canva that fits my brand, and all of the rest I'm just going to create in Klaviyo, right? I'm just going to jump in Klaviyo right now and go to sign up form from the main dashboard, the home page. So click on sign up form right here, and then what I'm going to do is create a sign up form from scratch. So create a new sign up form, and here we're going to create 2 different email collection form depending on if people come and visit the website from their mobile device or from their desktop device, because these 2 users have different ways to interact with your website. We want to make sure the pop-up that we have convert as optimally for the different users, right? So we're going to create a mobile pop-up first, and then you can create the desktop one. It's literally the same process. So this is the mobile one first, mobile email, and then pick the list that you have most of your email subscribers going to. So I'm just going to show you one example really quickly, because here, this is my list and segment section. My main list is my newsletter list. Obviously, this is a demo account, but this is the list I'm adding all of the subscribers to. And later down the line, you'll have an email flow that deliver the 10% off that we just promised to people, right? So when we're going to create the welcome flow, we're going to do it like that. This is the flow that deliver the discount to people, and we're going to call it welcome flow. So create flow. And then the trigger is going to be when someone is added to the list, newsletter. So every time somebody is going to submit the pop-up, they're going to be added to the newsletter, and they are going to receive the email as soon as they jump into the newsletter. And inside of the email, there's going to be the discount code. So if inside of the pop-up right here, you pick the wrong list, then people are not going to get the pop-up that you just promised them. And this is obviously wrong. You won't get as many conversions as you could possibly get, so pick the right list. Okay, so now I'm just going to deactivate the teaser a bit. And then for the form type, I'm just going to go for a full page instead of pop-up because I've seen that on mobile, it tends to do really good. So I'm just going to save the design for now. And then here we have a blank pop-up. We're just going to design it so it looks exactly like this one, right? And so now the first thing I'm going to do is make sure the pop-up doesn't show on desktop because I'm building it for mobile users right now. So I'm going to go to targeting and behavior and then scroll down all the way to display on, and then I'm going to click on mobile only. Next thing I'm going to do is go to targeting right here, scroll down until I see only show on certain URL and then don't show on certain URL. I'm just going to tick that box, don't show, and then go /cart. So it doesn't show on the cart page. And then on the next one, checkout. So the pop-up doesn't show on the checkout page, checkout. Okay, so this is it right now. Now I'm going to create the pop-up so it looks similar to the one we have here. So I'm going to export my logo. So click on export, and then I'm going to export the headline, and then we're going to go back to Klaviyo. And right here, I'm just going to go to style, scroll down until I see background color. I'm just going to go back to Figma and then select the background color I had for the pop-up, go to Klaviyo and then paste it here. It's already starting to look on brand. I just gotta edit the rest. I'm going to delete the headline and then add an image. So add block, drag and drop the image. This is gonna be our logo. And then I'm gonna drag and drop another one for the headline. So the first one, I'm going to pick the logo. So logo right here. And then the second one is going to be the image. I'm gonna scale everything up and down later, but right now I just wanna make sure I have all of the elements. So right here, logo is okay, and headline is a bit small. So instead of 100 for the headline's width, I'm just gonna go with 300 and hopefully it looks better, right? It looks great. Now for the padding, I'm just going to go to the bottom padding because I want more space between these two elements. I'm gonna pick the logo and then go for 40. That way I have more space, right? Next thing we're going to do is edit the copy that is right here. So I'm going to go to Figma and copy what I have over there. Change the text and then get the color again from here and then edit the color of the text. So edit the color and click right here. So now we have everything as it is in Figma for these 3 sections. Now we just need to fix these 2 elements so it looks very similar to our site and our branding. Really quickly, I'll show you the site, retainersemails.store. So as you can see, the button have like a no corner radius. It's like very square-ish, the design. So I'm going to make it look very similar on the pop-up, right? And by the way, this is retainersemails.store, but if you go to retainersemails.com, you have an option to apply to work with me, and I'll take care of your entire email marketing strategy completely done for you so you can make tens of thousands of dollars through the email funnel I create, right? So let's go back to the pop-up and make it branded like our site is. I'm just going to go to Klaviyo and click on style, scroll down, and for border color, I'm just going to select the same one as the one I have in Figma. So again, copy the color, scroll down, and edit the border color. And now for corner radius, I'm just going to put it to 0 right here, and we're good. Now for the button, I'm going to copy the call to action, paste it here, and these things I'm not going to edit. I'm just going to edit the button text for now. Now, similar thing, corner radius needs to go, so I'm just going to put it to 0, and then the color of that button, similar thing, just going to copy it from Figma. Here we go. Should look really good now. Now for this, I'm just going to make it 45 because I think the button is just a bit too big. And here we go. Now I'm just going to eliminate the corner radius from the pop-up itself. So I'm just going to go to style, scroll down and look for corner radius. And here it is, 0. Now it's an actual full page pop-up with a headline that is convincing, get 10% off, enter your email below. Just a quick explanation on how they can get the discount. Now I think the padding between these 2 elements is just a bit big. So I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. So button padding, I'm just going to put it to 0. And then this one, I'm going to put the top to 5, and then it should be closer, okay? So it looks good. Now what we can do is set it to live. And before we do that, I'm just gonna fix the targeting and behavior so it doesn't show up instantly when people load the page. This is just gonna destroy your site's conversion rate. So I'm gonna go to targeting and behavior and click on based on rule. And for the rules, these depends, like the optimal one, these depends for each and every brand. I'm just gonna give you my rationale on why I would do for the demo store we have right now. So if I go to the main page, the home page, and I scroll down, you are going to see that the page is quite short. So I'm not gonna show the pop-up when people are at like 50% of the page, right? Because this is an option right here. After visitor has scrolled a certain amount, the page is short. So even though they scroll, they won't learn a lot and they won't input their email if I make the pop-up show at 50% of scroll depths. Same thing with this one. This product page is quite short, so I'm not gonna show the pop-up after 50% scroll. What I'm gonna do is wait 8 seconds so they can just actually have time to consume the page a little bit, and only then I'll show the pop-up. So this is gonna be what I do. So after time delay, 8 seconds. So they're gonna load the page, read some content, and then 8 seconds after the page load, the pop-up is gonna show asking them to give up their email essentially. So now I'm just going to set it to live, and now we have a working pop-up. And what you can do is also optimize the success page, just make sure it's branded and just edit the color as I've done before. Now about the second line right here, check your email for a confirmation message. You gotta understand that people, after they sign up for this step, unlock 10% off, they expect a discount. So we'll just send their discount straight away since they expect it. We will deactivate the confirmation message, and instead we'll just replace the copy that we have right here with something along the line of basically, we just sent your discount, check your emails. So this is it. And then we're going to make the pop-up live, publish anyway. And then here you go. We have a pop-up that's working. Now, here's the confirmation message I was talking about earlier. By default, every single person who submits your pop-up is going to receive this message before they get added to your list. And so you will not be able to market to them unless they click on this button, yes, I want to subscribe, and they will not be able to get the discount, and they probably won't buy because they will feel like you scammed them, right? And it turns out 50% of the people who give you their email on the pop-up will not go on to confirm their subscription. So just by having this message in place and not adding people to your list straight away when they submit your pop-up, you waste a lot of list growth potential. So right now, I'll show you how to deactivate this message. So you go to Klaviyo and then list and segment. You pick your main list. So for me, it's the newsletter list. And you go to settings right here. So list settings, let it load, and then go on consent, scroll down until you see single opt-in right here. And when you click on this button, every single person who submits the pop-up is straight away going to get added to your list, and your discount is going to be sent out. So now you click on save, so you keep the settings intact, and then you're good. Now from the home page, this is where you can track your sign-up form performances. So just go to sign-up form, and then click on the one you just created, and then here you'll have submit rate. This is the biggest indicator of if your pop-up's doing great or if it's doing terrible. Ideally, you want to aim for 10%, but realistically, especially if you're just getting started, you're gonna have like a 3%, 4%. I think 3% is industry average. You just wanna make sure you just max that thing. So 10% or like 10% and above is very possible. I'm just going to show you one example from one of our clients. This is an e-commerce brand we're doing email marketing for, and they're getting most of their traffic from mobile. So this is one we optimized quite a lot. And when I say optimize, like a lot of brands, what they will have is when I audit their account, basically I just go to A/B test and test results, and it will be very similar to this, like no split test going on at all. They just kind of throw a pop-up in the air and just hope for the best. Because basically, if you're doing email marketing right, you always have a pop-up test going on all of the time, just because of how important it is. And to give you an example, this is scenario A. So if you have 50,000 people going to your website with a 2% submission rate, this is not optimal, and you'll get like 1,000 email list subscribers. Now, if your welcome flow that we talked about before has a 7% conversion rate with a $50 AOV, you're gonna get $3,500 in sales. Now, similar circumstances, same amount of traffic, your pop-up just converts way better. You're going to have 6,000 email list subscribers, and the flow that converted before at 7% and at a $50 AOV is now going to make $21,000. So pretty significant difference, and that's why you have to split test your pop-up to get very good results, because it is very essential. Here you just have the example with the welcome flow, but I could even make the point with like right here you have 1,000 email list subscribers, right here you have 6,000. Your campaigns on this list are going to be way more impactful and make way more sales than the smaller list you'd have if your pop-up was just running at 2%, right? So always play test your pop-up. And right now I'm just going to share with you a couple of strategies on how you can increase that performance of your pop-up. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you in order to increase your pop-up's performance is how to split test, how to think about split testing. So right here, this is an example of a brand right here. So imagine we are getting a $150 AOV and we have a pop-up that is like this one, right? Get 10% off. 10% off would be the equivalent of getting $15 off to people, because 10% of $150 is $15, right? So what you can do is just duplicate that pop-up that you have, and instead of making it 10% right here, just delete that and just make it $15 off and import it the same way as we did the pop-up from before, but just import it in Klaviyo and have everything like changed to this, right? You're going to go to edit form, and then we're going to create an A/B test from here, right? So A/B test, we're going to go offer testing, control, the variant that we have right now is just 10% off, so 10% off. And the second one is going to be a test variant, $15 off. So create the test, And for the control, we're not going to touch it at all. But for the test variant, we're going to just import the image. So similar thing as before. Click on export headline. Go back to Klaviyo. Here, I'm just going to check that I'm in the test variant. I am. So replace, upload image, select image from my computer, just upload the headline, and then here we go. And now I'm just going to edit the button too. $15 off. So now how'd you make it so people who submit pop-up A with like 10% off get one specific email with one discount code, and people who submit pop-up B with $15 off get a different email with a different discount code? This is something you have to set up, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Okay, right here we're going to go to source, and we're going to delete the one we have. Right, I'm just going to create another one. So go to source, and here I'm going to select the value $15. So this is how we're going to know that people came from the $15 off discount. So I'm going to create the thing and just basically go back to the other one and click on the button right here, go to source again, and then click on here, add property, go to source again. And then for the value, I'm just going to click on 10%, right? So these are our two source. One is the 10% off code. The other is the $15 off code. And now when you create your welcome flow, you're going to set up a conditional split. And if the person comes, or if it had the property that is coming from the source equal, here you have to make it text. So click on type and then click on text. And if they come from the 10%, they will get email number 1. So here you'd have the 10% discount code. And then in the other one, you're just going to make it like that. So conditional split again. And then if the person comes from the $15 off code, so $15, source equal $15, you have to pay attention, because if like there's a typo here, then it's not going to work. So just make sure there's no typo and double check everything, right? So click on save, and then here you go. Now people are going to receive this email if they come from the 10% discount code pop-up, and the other email if they come from the $15 off discount code. Now what you're going to do is continue to test settings, and now you're going to have the two pop-up. Just publish the A/B test. You can either put manual distribution or automatic one. I like to go for automatic, so I'm just going to go for. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish the test, right? Publish A/B test, and here we go, right? Great. And by the way, if you want to watch a video of me setting up these emails for maximum conversions, I literally make hundreds of thousands of dollars through that welcome sequence right here. So if you want to learn how to do it, how to set up great email that actually convert, check out this video and I'll show you exactly how to do so. But for now, let me show you another strategies to increase your pop-up sign-up rate. So for now, I'm just going to pick a winner and say pop-up A was the winner. I'm just going to edit the form and just make it convert even higher, hopefully. Just going to create another A/B test. And what we'll do this time is we're going to create a totally different workflow. So instead of showing the pop-up form first like this, we're going to do something else. So we're going to show step 1, and it's going to look exactly like this, right? We're going to wait 8 seconds for people to consume, read the page, and then we're going to have a page that looks similar to this show up first before we ask them for their email. Because right here, they can still exit the form like this and go to the product page, or click on no, thanks, I don't want to unlock the 10% off code. But if they do want it and click on yes, I want the code, only then we'll show the email step right here. And this takes advantage of like a psychological trigger, because whenever people click on yes, I want the code, somehow they're already bought into the decision of like getting the code. And basically when they see the email form right here, they're typically more likely to give it their email and click on unlock code later. So it has been a winner. Like this way of setting up the test has consistently won multiple of our tests. For some brands it works, for some brand it doesn't, but I highly recommend you test it for your brand, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. So again, another test, I'm going to call it 1 step vs 2 step, and control test 2 step. Create test, and we're going to set that up, right? So I'm just going to edit the test variant and duplicate the thing we have right now. So step 1, I'm going to drag it before, and then before having that step right here, I'm just going to delete that, the copy that we don't need. And then here, I'm just going to scroll all the way up and then export the headline that we have right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Klaviyo, replace the headline, and then I'm going to close the form. So right here, we have the headline. We need to delete the email capture because we're only going to show it in a later step. And now we just need to duplicate the no button, because right now, as soon as they click on yes, I want the code, I'm just going to copy that really quickly. As soon as they click on that, it's just going to guide them to the next step, so this one. But now I just want to have another button that says no, I don't want the code. So I'm just going to drag and drop a button. I'm going to make it with, I'm going to build it with similar settings as this one, just with this copy right here. No, thanks. And then what it's going to do is it's going to close the form as soon as people click on it. So for the color, again, I'm just going to click on here, replace it. And now it doesn't have the same height. So I'm just literally going to copy all the settings. So height equal 45. This one, I'm going to make it 45 in height. No top padding. because these buttons like have too much space in between them. And then here we go. This looks really good. I'm just gonna make sure yet again that all of the form have like the right action. And submit form, yes, this is exactly what I want. I want them to get to the next step as soon as I click on yes. I want the code. And for the next one, I want the form to close. Great. And then for this one, the form's gonna close. Okay, so now the workflow is great and we can go live with the test. So continue to test settings and then click on publish A/B test. Okay, so now you know how to split test offers and how to split test like 1 step versus 2 steps, which is like a bit more advanced, but anyway, you know how to do it. And right now, you need to always have a pop-up that's live if you want a chance to have a pop-up that just crushes, because the first pop-up that you set up is rarely the best. It's never the best. If you keep on split testing, you'll always find a way to crush the pop-up that you set it up a month ago. That's just the truth, right? And even when you have a pop-up that wins, it's at 10%, it can always go back to like 5% depending on your ad targeting, what you do on the front end. So you always, like literally always have to find a pop-up that beats the current performances. It's never good enough, okay? So now I'm gonna show you some extra ways you can grow your email list. Okay, so now that we're done with the pop-up, we're going to go through 2 other strategies to make sure your list is growing optimally to the best it can, right? So let's go to Shopify. This is how it should look. And now we're going to edit the embedded form at the very bottom of like your product page, homepage, and stuff like that. We're going to add an offer there. So for me, I already have an offer going on. So this is the same. I set it up in the pop-up, and I highly recommend you basically anytime that you find a pop-up winner, you implement it into your embedded form at the very bottom of your like pages. And here I just grabbed the same headline, get 10% off your first bottle, because I'm selling like supplements on this demo store. And to do so, you just go here, so click your homepage and then integration, and then you click on your Shopify one to make sure like everything's in place properly. So if this is not ticked, sync your Shopify email subscriber to Klaviyo. You have to take this and then select the list. Again, you got to make sure this is the right list, otherwise it's not going to work. But yeah, just make sure it's your newsletter list, right? And so you click on update settings, and then now it's just going to save everything, right? Here we go, update integration. Nice. So now we're good. Now, if you're like $15 off discount pop-up is working better, chances are your embedded form is also going to work better if it has the same offer. So to change the offer, you just click on here, $15 off. And then you change the setup of your welcome sequence. So people that have no source, essentially, as was discussed about before, I'm just going to go back to the welcome flow so you can see about welcome flow. We just created it. Hopefully it's not lost. Gonna go here to the welcome flow. Here, before, like people who were added to the newsletter list through the embedded form right here, that were going to that branch. So the source, they didn't come from the 10% off pop-up. They didn't come from the $15 off pop-up. So they went right here. And by the way, you're just gonna make sure you have an email going out from there, right? To people who sign up from the embedded form. Right now, if your $15 off offer starts to do way better than the 10% off, then you just delete that email that you duplicated from the 10% off branch. And right here, you just duplicate the one that you have for the $15 off, and you just make sure people actually receive this one, right? And that's how you do the embedded form thing. Now, we're also going to go to the checkout page, because you have to remember, right? If you have a cart page, people are not seeing a pop-up there, and at least they shouldn't see one. They shouldn't see one on the checkout page either, because it's very distracting, and you don't want to basically interrupt people when they enter their credit card information. You just want to get the conversion. Even if you sacrifice the email, it's not like the worst trade-off, right? So right here, we're just gonna go to the checkout page and make sure we have a way to just get consent, but this time, just making sure it's not intrusive, right? What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go to my checkout page and I'm gonna act as if I was like a customer, and you're gonna see the Shopify checkout page as it is right now is not optimized for like gathering as many email subscribers as you could, right? So here, email me with news and offer, like it's a weak value proposition, and this is the consent box for email marketing. So if people don't click on that box, they will not get added to your email list, or they will, but you will not be able to like legally market to them because they haven't ticked that box, right? So now we should make sure 2 things happen. One, when people load this page, this consent box should already be ticked. That way you are able to just market to them if they don't edit it at all. And 2, because this offer is just so weak, email me with news and offers is just terrible. Like people don't want that. So yeah, we just need to make this copy more attractive so that people do not like untick that box that we ticked for them already. Okay. So step 1 is you're going to go to your settings. So you click on here, settings, and then go to checkout, then scroll down up until you see pre-selected. And then you can read that on your own, but let customers sign up for email or SMS marketing. And then you just go to email pre-selected. Okay, and now because we saved this pre-selected option, if I go on the checkout page again, you are going to see that this option is pre-selected as intended, and you'll have way more people or way more customer convert into email marketing subscriber. And this is very important for lifetime value, especially for this store, because it's a supplement brand. You want to make sure like you continuously are able to market to people who are customers and just get them to buy another bottle when this one is empty for them, right? This is for pre-selecting this tick box right here. Okay, now to change the copy on your checkout page, what you need to do is go to online store, and then it's going to bring you to themes automatically. You click on customize, and then the 3 dots, and then edit default theme content. And you'll have an option to change the copy on your checkout page. So just go to checkout and systems. And now because this drop down list is like absolutely huge, I never like manually find whatever I want to find. So here the copy I want to change is email me with news and offer. I'm just going to copy this really quickly and just make a search on that specific page. And here I'm just going to replace email me with news and offers with an offer that economically makes sense for my brand, so I can just get people to come back and place another purchase, right? I want to extend lifetime value. So what I'm going to do is drop this line of copy that I've already prepared. Free, join VIP Klaviyo to get 15% off your next order, because again, I want them to order a second bottle when the first one is empty. So this is the copy I'm just going to go for, and then I'm going to reload that page to make sure it works, right? So get another checkout session in, and boom, it updated the copy. Now, instead of people unticking that box because they really don't want to be marketed to with random offers, they have a free bonus as part of the order, and now they don't want to untick that box because they're going to make a purchase anyway, and this is another free thing on top of the order. So them unticking that box would be unticking a free benefit, and they basically won't do that. So you're completely covered on your email list growth size. And if you don't want to give 15% off on people's next order, I highly recommend you go with the alternative. So what I like to do is this instead of this offer right here. I usually pick this copy. So get shipment tracking updates. So people definitely want that, and you lead with that first. But you also include and VIP exclusive offers, because if you only include that, because I see some stores doing this, but get shipment tracking updates and the box right here is consent for email marketing. And one caveat is like you should not delete that bit, VIP offers, because this get shipment tracking updates, this is transactional email content. So you lead with, okay, you're going to get shipment tracking updates, but then you up them in for email marketing. And this is like, I'm pretty sure this is illegal. You should definitely not do that. Or if you do it, I did not recommend that to you. So just make sure you include the fact that they will get like offers and marketing messages if they just don't untick that box right here, right? So this is it. You can click on save and it will update on your checkout page. So let's test that again. But yeah, it just works. Okay, so now you know exactly how to grow your email list from 0 to hundreds of thousands of email list subscribers. But listen, growing your email list is only one side of the equation. You also have to send email campaign to that list to get them to convert. Also, what's going to happen is some of the campaign traffic is going to go to your site, click on add to cart, etc., and leave your website without converting. This time, you also have to have email retargeting that handle their objection and push them for the conversion yet again. Right? And that's exactly how I'm currently doing millions of dollars for e-commerce brands across all niches. Now, what you can do right now is sign up for a completely free call with me, and that's how you can get me on your side to write your emails, design them, and launch them completely done for you to get results like Bond, who went from 0 email marketing revenue to $50K per month from email, and this apparel brand who went from $0 to $100,000 from email marketing. If you want to get results like them, click the link below, book your call, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.